Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this morning. Got a great show lined up. A special guest here in the studio. Going to give you some good fishing secrets. But first, let's get our weather done by Haney Technical Center. And while I'm talking about Haney, let me go and mention, I talked to them yesterday. They have a new course coming back in. It's the auto collision course. Now, they haven't done it in a year or two. It was always a very popular course at Haney. They called me yesterday. They set it out for a year or two to remodel the area. It's got all the new stuff in it, and that course is going to start Monday. You can go anywhere from 1 year to 2 years, but it's a great course to learn. You don't necessarily have to make a living off of it, but you can really learn a lot. I've been a part of that before. I didn't take the class, but I was over there a lot in years past. It's a really good course. So auto collision is open up at Haney on Monday. So get there, call them today because they're closed on Friday. Okay. High today 86, low tonight 78. It's not going to get really low. Water temperature is 84. Let's take a look at our river readings. The Appalachian School of Bluntstown, we're looking at right at 4 foot, and the Choctawhatchee of Caryville at 5. Same reading we had yesterday. River State is pretty level now all weekend. They're not going to have a lot of movement to it. It's going to be really good fishing, and I guarantee you going to be some nice. This is the weekend before the full moon coming up, and it's going to be some good fishing. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. We're getting back, today is the 16th, and we're getting back into some good tides today. We have a high tide this morning now. It's a morning high tide. It's 8:05 this morning, and a low tide this evening at 6:47. So some really good movement right there. And Friday and Saturday also some good, well, same situation. You got that morning tide. It's going to be high, then it's going to be low, okay? Really good situation. Okay, the marine forecast is going from west-southwest at about 10 to 20. I will take a break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. And again, a familiar face on Panhandle Outdoors, Fred Myers. Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's always good to have Fred here because Fred is undisputably the king of the red fishermen around here. I know he's sort of shy and don't want to talk about it, but all you got to do is look at tournament results, and year after year, month after month, Fred Myers is up there. So glad to have you back on.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate it.
You've been having a good summer?
Yeah. We've been fishing a lot. When I say a lot, I've been fishing some tournaments. Not much recreation. But I've been out of town a couple times, and fortunately, we had some local big tournaments. So it's turned out well. It's always hard to win in your hometown. That's the biggest fear.
Well, why is it harder to win in your hometown than somewhere else?
I did a little segment interview with somebody else, and they asked me, man, it must be great fishing at home. And the idea behind fishing at home is you want to be at 20 different places at 20 different times on 20 different tides. And so it's very difficult to pattern yourself and to tame yourself to stick with fish that you know where they are. And so it's now look, hometown advantage is great. I won't doubt or downplay that, but to be able to win at home is a great thing. Everybody expects you to win, and when everybody's expecting you to win, that's probably the opposite of what will happen.
They put the pressure on you, and plus it's self-imposed pressure because you think you're supposed to win because you're at home. So. All right, we got some good people. He's been on the streak now. You want to how many tournaments lately, or
3 in a row now? Three large tournaments in a row.
And this is not little rinky-dink 4-boat tournaments now. This is some big tournaments he's won. So that's why I want to have him on the show. He's hot now. All right, let's start. Look at this first picture here. Tell us about it.
We went to Lafitte. In the middle, that's me and Sean O'Connell. The two guys on the right, I guess if you're looking, are from Jacksonville, and the other two on the left of the picture are from Lafitte, Louisiana area.
Wow.
But we were in Lafitte, and we ran about 100 miles, 110 miles one way to catch our fish. It's pretty neat. I got some video I'll show you in a different segment that we had to go through Empire, Louisiana lock. So we had to lock through and jump into the Mississippi River and then cross the Mississippi River heading east and then get over into the area that we were fishing. So we had to go through a lock back and forth. And there's a lot of strategy in trying to do that. I mean, you might get to that lock and have to wait 30 minutes for a boat to be in there or out of there, because that's how people get across the Mississippi River. And for people that don't know, Lafitte is probably about 20 minutes southwest of New Orleans. So we have to run down across Barataria Bay, hit the Mississippi River, and back up to area that we call Delacroix, where we were fishing, which is basically due south of New Orleans.
So but you knew the fish were there.
Yeah, we pre-fished it and had just some good fish. And this next picture here are the two fish we caught. Go one more picture, I think. Yeah, you can see the fish there. Those two fish are slot redfish, under 27, 26 3/4, and those two fish weighed 18.21 pounds.
Holy cow!
There are two redfish over 9 pounds.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Folks, you just don't see this picture right here. You don't see this often.
No, those before that tournament, the heaviest weight that I'd ever weighed in my career and won the tournament, not that has ever been weighed, but by me personally, was 17.60. That was 2 8 3/4 pounders. This tournament, those pictures right there are two slot redfish that weigh 18.21 pounds, and that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And
it really is.
And those are a little different picture. You can see them
Wow, that's.
But those are slot redfish. They have in Louisiana. They have the same slot that we do, a maximum of 27 inches, and those two fish were 26 3/4.
Oh man. Okay.
That's just me here fishing. I caught it. That's a good fish there for Florida. That's a 7-pound redfish.
That's here local?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that shows we got them here locally too.
Yeah. Now that's a little picture of how we measure the fish and how precise it is. Down in the bottom of the picture, you can actually see how how technical we are about measuring the fish. And that fish is 26 3/4, and we use a little pincher if it gets real close. But to make that fish legal, you see that little line. That line is less than the size of a pencil lead. Wow. And so the 27-inch mark is what you're looking for. If the fish touches that line, it's legal. If the fish hangs over the back of that line, the little bitty line, the fish is not legal. And so that's how technical it is about measuring these fish. I mean, they look at them very, very precise. And sometimes, I mean, I've weighed fish that are over. And my theory is if you don't weigh a fish over every now and then, you're just not playing to win.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point right there.
Oh, this is my little girl, Elizabeth. We were pre-fishing for this big tournament 2 weeks ago, and she caught her a redfish, and she wanted me to take a picture of it.
You got to take that one now.
Yeah. So usually my little boy's with me fishing and all that, so we took her and we had a good time.
That's cool. Let's look at one more.
That's me and Sean won here 2 weeks ago in Panama City, and anyway, long story short, we that was a 2-day tournament here.
Okay, what was the weigh-in on that one?
Yeah, the 25.04 pounds won 2 days, so that's 12 1/2 pounds. My prediction prior to the tournament was 12 1/2 pounds to win. People thought I was crazy, but we had a no-call situation that we'll talk about that tampered with the weights, which is a Florida law that the tournament has to comply with. And long story short, I had really, really good weight on day one, and I kind of looked at the field, and on day two, I just knew that it would be hard because the guys behind us would be trying to go swing for the fence, and it could bite them. And then I was fishing around guys that were close to me, and I could tell what they were catching or not catching. So what I mean by that is if they were still fishing, I knew they only had one fish because it's a no-call tournament. So I left and went to a different area, ignored what they were doing because I figured it would not work, and went and caught me a 5 1/2 pounder. And of the top teams on this final day, I was one of the only ones to weigh 2 fish.
Oh, cool.
So
cool. All right, we're going to talk about how he did that. Well, let's take a break, and we'll be right back and see what he's fishing with. All right, welcome back. Today with Fred Meyer talking about red fishing and getting some really good, we're going to have good advice from him. But first, I want to again mention on tomorrow's show, We're going to do a segment now on the scallops. I went to the meeting Monday night with FWC, got some good interviews, got some really good down-to-earth information from the researchers and from all parties there. So we're really going to make a statement tomorrow on the scallops. So be sure and watching us tomorrow, okay? Now, got a couple more pictures. Let's look at this one right here, Fred.
That's when we won here in Panama City.
Okay, got that one.
Those are the two fish the second day.
Okay.
As you can tell, the fish that Sean's holding in the blue shirt there is a lot bigger than mine. What happened with that no call? The state of Florida has a no call. If the tournament doesn't have enough participants, the guys fishing the tournament are not allowed to put a redfish in their live well and then take it out and replace it for a larger one.
Right.
Fortunately, both days we caught a fish right at 7 pounds first. So obviously, you can see if you caught a 5-pounder first to debate to put it on the well or not. But both days, I was on a pretty good school of fish, and we caught a 7-pounder. Mm-hmm. Well, that's instantly going in the well. There's not many slot fish in this base one around that are over 7 pounds.
Right.
Right. And then we can kind of set our pace by what we want to do with our second fish. And then that fish, the one I'm holding, is about 5 1/4. Now this is the second day, and we had just shy of 12 pounds, but for both days we had 25.04 pounds.
That's strong.
And my prediction was that what would win would be 12.5 pounds a day with the no-call situation. Of course, before you start the tournament, everybody's catching them, big weights and all this, and you just can't listen to that stuff. So
do y'all weigh them, or you just have them?
No, we try to. We weigh them on what's called a boga grip that lips them in the mouth. But the biggest thing with us in tournaments is real important is fish care. I mean, I'm catch and release and let other people catch them, and these tournaments are conservation wise. Right. To that, so they actually penalize you if you have a fish that expires. So what you want to do is when it's hot outside like this, you don't want to mess around with weighing them too much. You want to get them in that live well real quick. Right. So we measure them and then weigh them and then put them in that live well and make sure they're secure and not struggling. This is my son, Carter. He's there's a little tank behind him you'll see. And he, at this last tournament, was responsible for making sure all the fish were in healthy condition in that tank and then letting them go in the bay. I think we have another picture.
Okay, I want to just show something right here. Look up.
Next picture.
Okay.
Go to the next picture.
All right, let's go. He's releasing them right here.
Yeah. So there's a tank. There's an action photo. He's making sure what he's doing is he's throwing that fish in their head first, and that fish will hit the water and swim away, and that's really good for the fish. He's not just throwing that fish in there, he's dropping them in there. But if you look real close on his back, my wife Laura is securing him. Now he is totally capable of swimming and all that good stuff, but
Mom's going to hold on to him.
That's Mama there doing her job there. So,
I love it, that's great.
So she's watching after him.
Okay, and I got this one here. This is my favorite picture of all.
Yeah, this is my little girl Elizabeth. She went pre-fishing with me, and I was talking to her, explaining to her what I was doing and how I was fishing, and she was really, really interested. And the next thing I know, a few minutes went by, and I'm just sight fishing, so I'm not casting much. I'm looking for fish, and I'm pre-fishing, so I'm just kind of counting the fish out there. And she quit talking to me, and I turned around, and she is just out. I mean, she had been with me all day, and she didn't complain one time. But you can see her mama dressed her all in pink. Her pants match her life jacket.
Isn't that nice to just be able to just fall asleep wherever you are?
I wish I could do that.
I wish we all could do that. That's great.
But she went to sleep pretty fast once it got on up in the day.
All right, great picture. I got one more real quick. Got a tournament coming up. Let's talk about it real quick.
Yeah, we have the Emerald Coast Professional Redfish Series.
Okay. I'm getting a call, but go ahead. We got it up there.
The Emerald Coast Professional Redfish Series coming up on the 25th of this month. Now we have a captain's meeting at the Four Winds downtown. Okay. And the city is really supporting us. Jennifer Vigil at the city and Stan Jones with the city marina. Man, they've been so good to us and helping us and put on a good show. They're going to have a band, and during the tournament that afternoon, they're going to have food, vendors, and then also a band 3 hours prior to the weigh-in. So come on out. There'll be, food and beverages for people to eat and drink. So the last time it was early in the year, and heat wasn't a factor. But this time we're going to take care of that. So we'll have entertainment and so forth. And we want a big crowd. We want everybody coming out and seeing what's going on. We have a kayak division as well.
Good.
So if you got kayakers, this tournament is open to anybody for a boat and or kayaker. What we're doing is this tournament is televised. It'll be on the Pursuit Network, and basically what happens is the winner that wins the tournament gets a 30-minute segment to tell them how they won the tournament and all that good stuff. We already did show with the first guys that won. Todd Jordan, good guys, and they're fishing the second one. Of course, we're fishing, and Mark Howard and his son Michael, and a bunch of friends of mine, Bobby Weir, and these guys. And the thing about red fishing is the fish has to fit the slot, so anybody can win. It's just a matter of putting two good fish together to try to make that happen.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and he's going to show you how he rigs up for these tournaments. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's take a quick look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Barron's Barbecue Shrimp Marinade from 9:48 to 11:48 this morning, and from 10:10 to 12:10 around midnight tonight. And be sure, be aware of that. Also, the auto collision class now be starting at Haney, so go check them out today. Now, Fred, you fish for fun, but you work for a living.
Yes, fishing. I fished my first tournament and always messed with my wife about how I was going to win this boat and bring it home. Well, finally it happened, and then fishing became part of a hobby / income. But yeah, I'm a commercial insurance agent. I was previously employed at Blackwell Insurance for about 16 years, and then I moved to Centria here in Panama City. And if you have any insurance needs, I do a lot of marine insurance, and then property and casualty insurance, restaurants, hotels, motels, large buildings, leased buildings. Please feel free to give me a call. I work at Centria here in Panama City, Florida, and you can reach me on my cell phone at 527-5091. That's 850-527-5091.
Good.
And I've been doing insurance for 17 years now.
A while,
So we have a good outfit where we are.
Very good. I always try to deal with outdoor people.
But yeah, I started winning some tournaments, and my wife was like, "Man, you need to do that more often," because it started playing some extra income.
Quick question, how many boats have you won?
Yeah, actually, that's a good question. I rounded it off 3 weeks ago. My boat was number 10.
You won 10 boats?
10 in 6 years.
10 boats in 6 years.
Yeah.
These are nice boats too. What kind of boats are they?
The Rangers.
Rangers.
Yeah. I have some customers actually. Mark Knowles that bought one, and he saw I won another one the other day. He sent me a text. He says, "You got a boat for sale?" I said, "No, sir. I already sold it."
I bet you got a list of people. You give them good deals. It's a brand new boat.
Yeah.
All right, let's show the folks how to fish.
All right, so here's what we got. We've got two different hooks here. We've got basically a lead head that's been around for years and years and years, and there are different designs in lead heads. We'll get into that in a different show, but this is an 1/8 ounce lead head. I don't use typically much over 1/8 ounce because you just don't need it. Sometimes I use 1/4 ounce, but 1/8 ounce. Now this is a swim hook. These are both made by Saltwater Assassin. I think Blue Water Outriggers, they sell a lot of this. If Blue Water Outriggers doesn't have this new swim hook, I'm telling Blue Water Outriggers right now, they need to order this swim hook from Saltwater Assassin because it's the newest thing. What's fixing to happen is we're fixing to get a lot of June grass in the bay. And you can use the same plastic on a lead head or weedless here, but this weedless hook will allow you to fish without getting a bunch of grass. Okay, so basically the lead head is very traditional. I was talking to Winston here a minute ago. When people rig these baits, when they get done, it looks great before it's on the hook. In the package, it looks great. The problem with it is when they get it on the hook, it looks like a piece of chewing gum. So the biggest thing is to rig this thing to where it's going to swim straight, because fish pay attention to that, and you just push it right up there, and basically
Yep.
You know, rig it very straight. I don't know if you can see how straight it is, but what's going to happen is that tail will swim straight. If you don't rig it straight, the bait's going to go sideways in the water, or it's going to self-hook itself, and you're going to have a problem with the hook. So be sure and rig the bait straight, and I can't tell you how important that is. Now that's a normal lead head. It's going to hop off the bottom, kind of like a shrimp. The other way to rig this same plastic is to take this weedless hook, and it's got a corkscrew. I'm sorry, I'm probably moving around too much. It's got a corkscrew, and you stick it right in the front of the bait, and you just twist the bait. And again, this part of the bait is probably the most important as far as rigging. You want to try to get this corkscrew in the front of the bait very straight. So now what you have is your plastic sitting on your corkscrew, and then your hook. Now what you want to do is take this bait and make it weedless, and this is as simple as it gets, just like bass fishing, rigging a Texas rigged worm. So what you have here now is a bait that will swim higher up in the water column. Now this thing is totally weedless, okay? You can take it sometimes, and I put the hook just under the tip of the bait, and then it's weedless. I mean, you can see how it will, most of the time it won't catch grass. Now you're going to catch a little bit of grass, but the biggest thing is every time you reel in, check it and see, and you might have to reseat the point of that hook. But saltwater assassin, the biggest thing about these baits is they're soft. Now people don't like that because they tear easy in some cases if they're catching a lot of fish. What I like about it, if it's tearing, that means it's hooking the fish. The plastic is not in the way of hooking the fish. So basically, this plastic will get out of the way, that hook will be exposed, and it'll hook the fish. Instead of having a plastic that basically gets in the way of your hook, this doesn't, even if you bury the hook a little bit in the bait. But this weight is under the belly of this weight is under the belly of the bait, and it allows it to swim through the water.
All right, that's a great fishing tip right there, and we run out of time, so you got to come on again next month.
I will do it.
And we're gonna pick it up where we left off. And congratulations on winning all this.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much.
Always glad to have Fred Myers. All right, folks, y'all have a great day today. Do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.